all actors, both multilateral and autonomous sanctions actors, were starting to use highly targeted sanctions. And by that, I mean things like asset freezes, travel ban, arms embargoes, and so on. And you can expect with those kinds of measures, they're geared towards certain individuals or entities, and the knock-on effects for ordinary civilians are expected to be really quite limited or controlled for. What we have in the last few years is a shift to a number of different things that are having humanitarian impacts. We now have multiple sanctions regimes in place. On top of that, you will sometimes have layered a number of supplementary autonomous sanctions imposed by the US, the EU, and a number of other countries and regional organizations. And what we're getting is this kind of very messy overlap of different sanctions regimes in different countries. So that in itself has a range of humanitarian implications because trade is that much harder. There is hindrances in all kinds of bureaucratic processes. The second one comes down to the US sanction, the changes in the US sanctions regimes under the Trump administration in particular and under the maximum pressure campaign. This kind of approach has its roots in what we in the sanctions world term the naive theory on sanctions, which is for 6 to 7 decades. Studies have generally shown that sanctions that cripple an economy and hurt ordinary civilians tend to be ineffective and also can be counterproductive. For example, there's a kind of gradation, a sliding scale of how broad the sanctions could go before they start having an impact. So it's not to say that you can't have some commodity-based sanctions, some sectoral sanctions, but once you start approximating an embargo, then it's inevitable that vulnerable populations will be impacted.